Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Welcome and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a weekly reading vlog. It is currently Friday, March 12th. Yeah, so let's just get into my reading plans, which are kind of all over the place, but I am currently reading Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. So this is a reread for me and I've decided to reread it because the Netflix movie adaptation just came out recently and I really want to watch it, but I wanted to reread the book first just to kind of have the story fresh in my mind going into the movie. Plus, I just really wanted to reread this book because why not? I'm only 14 pages into it. I've been having a hard time recently with just getting into reading and making myself just like sit down and read instead of watching Disney Plus or YouTube or TikTok, which has been a thing I've been doing a lot recently. Reading just hasn't been something I've been doing a lot of recently, but I want to get back into it, so hopefully I can read this and finish it soon. I'm going to read it in a second here and hopefully I can finish it today. Fingers crossed. I would really like to finish this today because I just really want to watch the movie. Then after that, my plans for like the weekend, possibly and hopefully into the actual like beginning of the week, is the Brown sister books trilogy. So this consists of Get a Life Chloe Brown, Take a Hint Danny Brown. Both of these I've already read. And then the newest edition which just came out is Actor Age Eve Brown. So I want to reread these ones so that I can read this one. I don't need to reread these ones to get to this one. They're just companion books, so like really the plot of these ones don't matter for this one, but I just love these books a whole heck of a lot and I really want to reread them, so I'm using this as an excuse to read them. But I am so excited for this one. It just came out a few days ago. I'm just so excited for it. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. So my plan is to read these this weekend. I can typically read these in a sitting, or like at least pretty close to a sitting, so I'm hoping to read these over the weekend and then possibly finish like Monday or Tuesday at the latest, because that would be wonderful. I don't know if I'll be able to read any more physical books. I don't really have like a plan. I mean, I have some books that I could read, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm just gonna focus on these ones for now. But I also have some audiobooks. I'm also currently listening to the audiobook for The Young Elites by Maria Liu. This is my third time trying to read this book. I started it physically a couple years ago, couldn't get into it. Then I tried the audiobook for it, still couldn't get into it. So now I'm trying it again because I own this entire series. I've loved every other Maria Liu book that I have read and I want to continue to read her books. I'm really trying hard. I'm giving this book as fair of a chance as I can, but if I can't get into it this last time, or if I don't like it, then I might just have to unhaul the series and give up on it, because how many chances can I give a book, you know what I mean? But I am an hour and 18 minutes into the audiobook. I don't know how far I got into it last time. I think I got pretty far into it actually, but I just wasn't like retaining the information. So I've already like experienced this whole part of the story, so it's nothing new to me, but I don't know, there's just something about the story that just doesn't captivate me the way that I want it to. But I am listening to this and hoping to finish it at some point this week because it does expire in 9 days, so I need to listen to that. But I do have another audiobook that I'm gonna start listening to that expires in 4 days that I need to listen to, but I don't know if I want to tell you guys about it because I'm doing it for like another reading vlog and I don't know if I want to spoil that reading vlog because it's kind of a special one and one that I'm really excited but also nervous to do. So I don't know if I want to spill the beans on that one yet, but I do have another audiobook that I will be prioritizing over The Young Elites for the next few days. But those are my reading plans, so I'm gonna go into the living room, sit down and try to read some of Moxie, see how far I can get into it because I'm really excited. Okay, so it's a little while later. I've made it up to page 85 in Moxie and I thought I would just give you guys an update. I realized that I did not tell you guys what Moxie is about, so if you don't know, Moxie is basically about our main character Vivian, and she is fed up with the sexist ways of her school and how the boys just get away with saying and doing anything. And so she decides to go ahead and make a feminist zine. I think it's a zine, it's like magazine. I think it's a zine. So she goes ahead and makes a feminist zine and spreads it around her school and kind of starts this whole like feminist movement and group and club in her school to try to change the sexist ways. It is such a good story and it has such a good message to it. So I definitely recommend this book. I'm having a really good time rereading it, and I think I might even enjoy it more the second time than I did the first time. And I'm just having a good time, but I'm gonna break to eat some lunch because I'm hungry and it's almost 3 p.m. and then I will possibly get back to reading. I think I'll get back to reading. I'm just really like in like a subdued, like relaxing kind of mood. So that is the plan. So it's now about 1:30 in the morning and I'm on page like 197 of Moxie, and I'm just loving this reread so much and I cannot wait to watch the movie adaptation. I rewatched the trailer earlier and it just made me remember things from the book and it just has me so excited. But reading a book like this that deals with sexism and some sexual harassment and assault, it's like, it's hard to read about, so definitely like trigger warnings for all of that, by the way. But it also just like, it just makes me so mad to think about, and it also reminds me of my time in school, dating as far back as elementary school. There's a whole part of this book where they talk about dress codes in school, and the administration is like going hard on the girls for wearing certain types of clothing and making them cover up and whatnot. Like, I dealt with some dress coding in school. I was lucky enough that I didn't go to schools that had like really strict like dress coding rules. My high school didn't really have one like at all. Apparently we did. It was like in the back of our like planners or something, but it was never really enforced. Like, people would come to school wearing like booty shorts and like crop shirts, and you know, like, it was insane the kind of clothes that people at my school wore. We didn't really have like a really strict dress code, definitely nothing to this extent. But I remember being in elementary school in like grade 6, I was like 11 years old, and my teacher wouldn't let us wear spaghetti straps, and you know, he just didn't like our shoulders showing because it was distracting to the boys, and you know, we'd have to wear a sweater over it if we were wearing clothes like that. And that's just like not a good way to like teach girls that, you know, you have to address the way that you dress and you have to be wary of what you're wearing so that you don't distract boys or like attract the wrong kind of attention, and it's putting all of the responsibility on the girls instead of on the boys, who need to learn how to control themselves. And you know, like, it's not up to us what boys do and what boys think, you know what I mean? So like, I really feel for all these girls who aren't wearing things that are like super scandalous, but they're being dress coded and shamed for wearing spaghetti straps, and you know, for just like wearing what they want to wear. Like, it's absolute bullshit that schools do this. There's so many videos on YouTube where people, primarily like on like BuzzFeed and whatnot, will like try to follow high school dress codes, and they are ridiculous, and it's all for the girls, and it's so annoying. It pisses me off because they're all centered towards girl, like typical girl clothing, and it's all centered toward girls instead of like, you know, like, you never see a guy getting dress coded. That's not a thing that happens. Guys can wear whatever the hell they want, and that's not distracting. Ugh, I hate it so much. Anyways, so really enjoyed the conversations around that in this book. I also just love seeing all the zines because they're actually like illustrated and like put in the book, which I really enjoy, and it's like actually like handwritten. I'm wondering if it was the author who hand wrote them, if it was like a graphic designer who hand wrote them, I don't know. But I'm just really enjoying this book. I like the romance that's in it, and I'm getting to like a really good part that they showed in the trailer, which I'm really excited to kind of see unfold on the screen, and I'm excited to re-experience it in the book. But I'm having a really good time with this. I don't think I'm gonna stay up to finish it because, like I said, it is like past 1:30 in the morning, but I might read another chapter or 2, maybe 3, I don't know, depending on how long they are, but just like a few more chapters before I go to bed, and then I will definitely try to finish it tomorrow so that I can watch the movie tomorrow night, because I would really like to do that. I was planning on finishing this today, but I ended up doing other things instead. I went to the mall because I needed to buy new jeans, and yeah, I ended up buying a book, which I meant to show you guys, but I already put it on my bookshelf. I'm really enjoying this reread, and I highly recommend this book. It is just It's so good. Okay, so it's currently the 14th. It is Sunday, and I thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update. So yesterday I managed to finish Moxie by Jennifer Matthew, and I really enjoyed this book. I like the characters. I'm not like overly attached to any of them. I do like the love interest Seth, and I don't mind our main character, but she's not one of my favorite main characters that I've ever read from. I do like the side characters, particularly Lucy, but I think the part that I love the most about this book are the conversations that come out of it. There are a lot of discussions about sexual assault and harassment and kind of how that's dealt with in schools, which I think is a very important topic to talk about, because a lot of girls and a lot of people in general do deal with a lot of harassment that just isn't dealt with in like a proper way. I don't think schools handle things like this very well, and I think that that is wonderfully portrayed in this book. And I just, in general, I really enjoy this book. I think it is a good solid read, and I do recommend it. I did end up watching the movie as well last night. I did not like the movie. My thing with adaptations is I know that there's gonna be like some differences. They can't always be exactly the same as the book, but I don't like when they make unnecessary changes that don't really add anything. They just make the changes just to make them. So like, for example, in the movie, Seth is someone that our main character has known since they were very small, whereas in the book he is a new kid, and I just don't see why that needed to be changed. Like, I like it the way that it was in the book. I don't know, I just don't understand why they change things like that for adaptations when they just don't need to be changed. They changed the main character in certain ways. Like at the very beginning of this book, she acknowledges the bullshit that goes on in the school and like how bad things are and how she hates it and like whatnot, whereas in the movie at the very beginning she's very like indifferent towards it all. Like, she doesn't really have much of an opinion. She just kind of thinks that the guys in the school are annoying, but not much more than that, and that kind of really bothered me. I don't like how they did that. I feel like she didn't really do much. I feel like the other characters did way more than she did, which honestly is kind of the same in the book as well, but I feel like it was just more obvious in the movie. And yeah, and just in general, I didn't really like the movie. I'm not really that interested in Vivian in the movie like whatsoever. I was not like intrigued by her at all. I much prefer the character of Lucy and just like anyone that was not Vivian. I also don't really like how they did the character of Claudia, and then like Seth was fine. Seth was like cute and sweet and like whatever, but I also just like wasn't particularly like interested in him either. I just feel like they watered things down for the movie in a way. I don't know. Anyways, did not like the movie, did enjoy the book, so that is a bit disappointing. Okay, so that means that today I am hoping to pick up Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I am so excited to reread this book. I'm looking forward to it so much. And also, the first time that I read this book, I wasn't into it at the very beginning. Like, until you see like the first tab, I wasn't like completely sold. So like, I wasn't that into it for like this much of the book. So there's no tabs, and so I'm hoping that when I reread it I can connect to those parts a bit more, maybe put some more tabs. But I do love this book and I can't wait to read it. I am in the mood for some like feel good like romance stories. Like, I don't know, like I'm in the mood for this right now, so I'm very excited and I'm hoping to pick it up. The other thing I want to talk about is I have a book buying problem, and like for a while like I had it pretty under control where I was really like not buying that many books, but since 2020, oh, I've lost like almost all control. Like, I am not good at not buying books. So I did say this, I think in the last clip, I did buy a book when I went to Chapters. So I bought Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. So this was $6 on sale at Chapters, and I've been wanting to read this book for quite a few years. I just never actually picked it up. Don't really know what it's about. Something about tucking a love letter into a person's favorite book at a bookstore. I love books that talk about books, that deal with bookstores, and my book that I'm working on right now is primarily set in like a bookstore or talks about books, and so I'm very interested to read this book. And then today we went out just to get a few things at Walmart. So I bought Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. This is a new release. I don't know exactly when it came out, but I know that it was at some point in the beginning of this year, and everyone's been talking about it. I've been seeing it all over on my timeline, but I've never like looked into it too much. So I saw it and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the book that everyone's been talking about, because I knew it had like honey in the the title, so I thought it was this one. So I just did like a quick search on Goodreads, and everyone's been raving about this book. All my friends have loved it, so I am very excited for this one, and I knew that I had to get it because it was 40% off. Like an adult romance book for 40% off, it was like $13 or something. Like, I'm not gonna say no to that. So I'm very excited for this book, and all I know about it is that our main character goes to Vegas for like a girls trip or something, and she gets drunk and she ends up marrying a girl that she has no idea who she is. She doesn't even know her name. They end up getting married. But I'm very excited to read this book. Like, look how beautiful this cover is. Like, I can only dream that one day my book will have a cover as beautiful as this one. Like, it is just, oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. Like, just like all the different colors and like the dimensions. Like, oh, she's wearing black lipstick. Like, we stand. We have no choice but to stand. So at some point today, I'm gonna sit down and try to read Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it is currently the 17th of March. I have not updated you in a hot minute. I was focusing on doing clips for another reading vlog. I don't know when that vlog is gonna come out, so don't expect it anytime soon. But I was listening to an audiobook that I'm not going to tell you guys, as I said at the beginning of this video, because I want to save it for that vlog as like a surprise if I can. So I was reading that, so I listened to a whole audiobook since I last talked to you guys. I have not made any more progress in either of my other books, Young Elites or Get a Life, Chloe Brown, because I've been so focused on the other audiobook. But it is currently like 10:50 p.m. I'm gonna give myself like the next 40 or so minutes to read Get a Life, Chloe Brown and see how far into it I can get. I'm still on page 138. I think that's where I left you guys last time. Editing Brittany here, not me realizing as I'm editing that I never actually made a clip updating you guys on Chloe Brown. I totally thought that I had, but I guess I didn't. But I did read Chloe Brown. I totally thought I made a clip about it, and I didn't. So that was my bad. It's fine. And I'm only going to read for hopefully the next 40 minutes. Hopefully I don't get sucked into it too much, because I would like to go to bed semi-early today if I can, so I can start waking up earlier with daylight savings time and just like with my sleep schedule in general. I keep getting up late. I mean, it's not like too late for like my standards, but it's like late enough that like I feel like by the time I'm like ready for the day, even if I don't do makeup, I don't have much time left to do anything. So the hope is to wake up early tomorrow so that I have time to do everything, because I have a lot of things that I want to do tomorrow. So I'm hoping, like I said, to read for 40 minutes. I don't know how far that'll bring me, but I'm excited to jump back into this book because I love it so much, and it's such like a comfort, and I've worked so hard the past couple of days with writing. I feel like I just need this time to just sit down and escape into a really good book. Okay, so it's now the 18th, and I just want to end out this vlog and give you guys a reading update. So last night I managed to get to page 225 and Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I did end up staying up quite a bit longer than the 40 minutes, not reading the entire time, but I stayed up a lot later than I meant to. But I am far enough into it that I think I will possibly be able to finish this book tonight. But I'm very excited to continue it. I just love this book so much. I just love all the characters. Like, I love literally everything about this book. Sometimes the writing style is like a bit jarring if I'm just starting the book, or if I'm putting it down for a while and picking it back up. I think it's just like the tense and the POV that she decided to write this book in. It's just a bit hard for me to get into sometimes. I felt the same way with Red, White, and Royal Blue, but once I'm into the story, I'm just completely encaptured by it. I love it so much. So enjoying this one, happy to be rereading it. I'm still only an hour and 18 minutes into The Young Elites, but it expires in 4 days, so I need to start listening to it. So my plan is to listen to it while I'm making the thumbnail for this vlog, and then hopefully listen to maybe before I go to bed, and just start listening to it a little bit more, because I would like to try and finish this book since I have tried to read it so many times. I want to give it like the best shot that I can give it. But yeah, so obviously I did not read all the books I wanted to read this week. I didn't finish The Young Elites. I did not read the entire Brown sister trilogy. This week just didn't turn out to be the way that I wanted it to be. I ended up doing a lot more writing things instead, and it was just a busy week. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I will see you guys next time.